What if I told you that Cadillac just built something so bold, so uncompromising, that the moment you lay eyes on it, every other luxury performance car suddenly feels like it belongs to a different era? Because that is exactly what is happening right now. The 2026 Cadillac Eldorado is not a refresh. It is not an evolution. It is a statement, and the automotive world has not heard Cadillac speak this loudly in decades. Welcome back to Premium Automotive Reviews, the channel where we go past the brochure, past the press releases, and get into what these machines actually mean for the industry, for the culture, and for the people who will live with them every single day. If you are new here, stick around, because we do not just review cars, we decode them. And trust me, this one is going to take everything we have got. Now, before we even talk about what is under the hood or inside that stunning cabin, I need you to see this car, really see it. Because the design language alone is doing something that most manufacturers spend a decade trying to figure out. Cadillac has always had a reputation for sharp angles and dramatic presence, but the 2026 Eldorado takes that architectural philosophy and turns it into something almost sculptural. The front fascia is wide, aggressive, and impossibly confident. Those vertical LED signature lights cut through the blue steel body like twin blades, framing a mesh grille that sits low and hungry, with the iconic Cadillac crest centered like a crown. And then there are the carbon fiber hood vents, not decorative, genuinely functional. Channeling heat and feeding the aerodynamic story this car is telling from every angle. The color you are seeing, ordinary blue. It is a muted, steel-toned shade that shifts character depending on the light, almost gray in shade, deeply saturated in the sun. It is the kind of color that looks like it was mixed specifically for this body, because it was. The proportions are long, low, and wide. The roofline flows in a fastback silhouette that drops smoothly into a pronounced rear deck, giving the Eldorado a coupe-like elegance that the profile view makes almost impossible to look away from. Along the sides, carbon fiber side skirts sit tight to the body, running the full length of the car in a way that drops the visual center of gravity and makes the Eldorado look planted even while standing still. The wheels, massive. Multi-spoke units with a woven carbon fiber finish, are fitted with blue brake calipers up front and red Brembo calipers at the rear. That detail alone tells you everything about the engineering ambition here. These are not cosmetic touches. They are performance declarations wrapped in luxury. And then you walk around to the rear, and the Eldorado simply owns the room. The taillights are thin, razor-edged horizontal strips that stretch across the full width of the car, connected by the Eldorado name embossed right across the tail. The diffuser below is a serious piece of aerodynamic hardware, flanked by quad exhaust outlets that hint at exactly the kind of soundtrack this machine produces. From overhead, the panoramic glass roof reveals just enough of the interior to make you desperate to get inside. And when you do, everything changes. The cabin of the 2026 Cadillac Eldorado is one of the most considered interiors I have seen in a car at any price point. The moment you settle into those deeply bolstered seats, wrapped in dark navy leather with geometric stitching that looks almost like origami, you feel the environment wrap around you. This is not a cabin designed to impress in a showroom. It is designed to make every single drive feel like an event. The blue ambient lighting traces the dashboard and footwell in a soft, cool glow that ties the interior palette directly back to the exterior color. Details like these are what separate design teams that care from ones that simply execute. The centerpiece of the dashboard is a large, portrait-oriented infotainment display that sits at a slight angle toward the driver, intentionally driver-focused without excluding the passenger. It runs Cadillac's next-generation operating system, which has been rebuilt from the ground up with a cleaner, faster, and genuinely intuitive interface. Navigation, vehicle, dynamics, climate, entertainment, all of it flows in a logical hierarchy that does not require a tutorial to understand. The Cadillac script on the boot screen is a small touch, but it is a confident one. This brand knows what it is. Below the screen, the center console is a masterpiece in itself. There is a gem-cut gear selector that appears to be machined from solid metal, flanked by twin precision knurled dials for audio and vehicle settings. Carbon fiber panels run beneath and around them, and the Eldorado nameplate is engraved into the console tunnel in brushed aluminum. The door sills carry the same treatment, illuminated Eldorado carbon fiber plates that greet you every time you step in. These are the kinds of details that make a car feel personal, not mass-produced. The driver faces a fully digital instrument cluster that adapts its display based on the selected driving mode. In comfort, it is calm and minimal. In sport or track, the interface sharpens, the color temperature shifts, and the information hierarchy reorganizes around performance data. It feels alive in a way that static gauges never could. Visibility through the panoramic roof floods the cabin with natural light, and the greenhouse design gives rear passengers far more headroom than the fastback roofline would suggest from outside. Now here is where this car gets genuinely interesting from a technology standpoint. The 2026 Eldorado is built around a platform that has been engineered for multiple powertrain configurations. The headline version produces around 800 horsepower, a number that, when you are sitting inside this refined, polished interior, seems almost absurd. But Cadillac has designed the suspension and chassis, tuning to handle that output with composure rather than chaos. This is not a car that wants to be violent. It wants to be fast and precise and utterly in control, with the driver always feeling like the authority in the relationship. The ride quality across multiple surface types has been tuned with adaptive magnetic dampers that read road conditions in real time and adjust faster than any mechanical system could react. The result is a car that can absorb imperfections on a highway cruise and then tighten up the moment you ask for more on a winding road. Rear-wheel drive is the standard configuration, with an all-wheel drive option for those who want that extra confidence in variable conditions. The steering has been calibrated to give genuine feedback without being exhausting over long distances, a balance that very few performance sedans have truly achieved. The safety architecture deserves its own moment, because Cadillac has clearly invested heavily here. The Eldorado comes equipped with a full suite of driver assistance systems: adaptive cruise with stop-and-go functionality, lane centering, automatic emergency braking, a 360-degree camera system with incredibly high resolution, and a heads-up display that projects key information directly onto the windshield so your eyes never have to leave the road. There are 8 airbags distributed throughout the cabin, and the structural engineering prioritizes both occupant protection and pedestrian safety. This is a car that takes responsibility for its speed. Practically speaking, the Eldorado is a more usable car than its performance credentials might suggest. The trunk, while not enormous by luxury sedan standards, is a properly sized space that handles travel luggage without compromise. The rear seats are genuinely comfortable for adults, not just tolerable, and the legroom exceeds expectations given how low and swooping the exterior silhouette is. This is a car you can drive to the airport, hand the keys to a valet, and arrive feeling exactly as composed as when you left. It is a grand tourer in the truest sense, capable of everything and sacrificing very little, compared to the established European and domestic competitors in this space. The Eldorado's proposition is a fascinating one. It does not try to out-German the Germans or out-Italian the Italians. It does something more interesting. It leans into its own American identity, wide, confident, technologically ambitious, and unapologetically dramatic, while meeting the refinement standards of the global luxury market on equal footing. That combination has not existed in a Cadillac for a very long time, possibly ever in this form. The price positions it firmly in the upper tier of the performance luxury coupe segment, and every detail of this car justifies that placement. From the carbon fiber weave on the interior trim panels to the precision of the exhaust note, from the tactile satisfaction of every physical control to the visual drama of watching those tail lights illuminate in the dark. The 2026 Cadillac Eldorado is not a car that makes compromises to reach its audience. It demands that its audience rise to meet it. This is a vehicle built for someone who appreciates engineering without needing to explain it, who values presence without requiring attention, and who understands that true luxury is not about how loud something announces itself, but about how deeply it rewards you over time. It is for the driver who has owned enough cars to know exactly what they want, and who has been waiting patiently for American luxury to deliver it at this level. The 2026 Cadillac Eldorado is not just a car, it is a benchmark, and the fact that it carries that legendary name into this new era, with this design, this technology, This performance feels less like nostalgia and more like a promise finally kept. If this video gave you a new perspective on what Cadillac is doing, what if I told you that an American sedan just did that like button nobody in the because it genuinely helps this channel continue bringing you coverage that everyone at this level. Subscribe if you are not already part of this community, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you take the rear-wheel drive or go all-wheel? Standard or full performance spec? The conversation down there is always worth reading. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.